In this video, I'm going to show you how to save for a house and provide for your family as a musician. Let's say that your wife or husband has a medical emergency and you don't want to struggle to be able to financially help them. Let's say that your parents are getting older and that's really weighing on you and you want to be able to feel emotionally like you can take care of them. That's what's happening to me right now, by the way. But at the same time, you feel like your music skills is the thing that you're best at, and you feel like you wouldn't succeed in other skills and other jobs. Well, the thing is, the problem is that most musicians don't have a solid plan on how to make a lifestyle with their music. And they might have a vague idea that they just need to work hard. Maybe they think, hey, maybe I need to make content. Maybe I need to go on more tours. Well, I'll tell you that being a musician as a traditionally touring musician usually doesn't cut it. In fact, the Grammy-nominated band Periphery has went on publicly to say that they haven't been able to make a really decent living off of their music and touring, even after being Grammy-nominated and just being very iconic within the genre that they're in. So how do we as normal musicians pull this off? Well, my name is David, and I've made over 7 figures as a musician. And I'm going to share how I was able to make enough as a musician to take care of my girlfriend and make enough to buy a house in the Bay Area. And, keep in mind, the Bay Area is actually like one of the highest cost of living places ever. And side note, I didn't actually buy the house because I actually decided to invest that money into do other greater things. But you get the point. So let's get into things. So the easiest thing you can do to, as a musician, save for a house and provide for your family is to charge a lot higher prices than most musicians are comfortable doing. And this really taps into a really deep-rooted cultural beliefs of musicians, right? I think that musicians, a lot of them have internalized this belief that they must starve, or musicians, they don't make a lot of money. And that's not true. The problem is that they undervalue themselves and they see that other musicians are undervaluing themselves. And collectively, this reinforces the idea that we have nothing of monetary value to provide, or the market won't reward us financially in a good way for the skills that we have. But that's not true. The easiest thing that you can do, which is what I did, is that you can sell your knowledge, your music knowledge, and mentorship. And you might be thinking, oh, I've already done that. I've sold music lessons, and maybe I was only able to charge like $100 an hour max. So the thing is, that's the way that most musicians do it. But I'm going to tell you something that's much better than that. And I've been doing it since 2019 as my full-time job. So what you want to do is that instead of selling an hour of your time as a music teacher, you want to sell a in-depth coaching program that gets them results. So let me say that again. Instead of selling your time, you want to sell results. So the thing is, like, people value results. That's ultimately why they want to get, that's why they're approaching you for music lessons. So people don't want an hour with you. People want to be able to shred on guitar at, 400 beats per minute, or they want to be able to, sing like Ariana Grande. That's what they care about. They don't care about buying an hour of your time. So when you start selling results and you make a program around getting people that result, then that allows you to justifiably and ethically raise your prices. What you do is you give them support throughout the week. You give them live coaching. You even give them video resources. And this way, this actually ensures that they get better results. And when you do this right, instead of charging $100 or even $200, you can charge anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 per student if you do this right. And the thing is, you only need a few of these per week or even per month to make a 6-figure income. And although you can get actually higher than that, I think for starters, that's a good first step. And that's what I did for a couple of years, to develop a good nest egg to feel financially safe, to be able to take care of my loved ones, as well as to make enough to buy a house in the Bay Area. So, because the thing is, it's not enough to hope for one day things can work out and just have not a plan. You need to have a plan. And there's many ways to do it, but if you're a musician, in my opinion, this is one of the easiest because you can charge a high price from what you're already doing. You don't need to like make you don't need to like invent a piece of software. You don't need to like, I guess have some crazy, like, I don't know, like hardware thing that you make. No, you don't have to do any of that. You could just sell the knowledge that you have. And you need to remember that people value results, and they care about that more than your time. So if you'd like to go deeper in learning how to do this, if you want, I will leave a link underneath this video that will give you a training that goes more in depth about the different steps you need to do in order to set this up for yourself. And if you want more personalized help than that, then it'll also show you how to schedule a free consultation with me, or we'll see if it makes sense for me to help you personally for that. So that is how you make enough money to save for a house and provide for your family as a musician. Hope you found this valuable. Talk to you soon. Bye.